extremely urgent. Every nation in Africa needs a college of manufacturing. This is why. Africa has gold. Africa has oil. Africa has diamonds, cobalt, and rare earths. But here is the brutal truth. Africa doesn't make anything. The continent exports raw wealth and imports finished poverty. And unless this changes fast, Africa's future will be outsourced forever. The paradox of plenty. In Nigeria, cocoa beans leave the farms for Europe, only to return as chocolate bars 5 times the price. In Congo, cobalt feeds Tesla's batteries, but the miners themselves cannot afford electricity. In Angola, crude oil ships out by the barrel, while locals import fuel at sky-high prices. Africa is rich, but Africans still poor. Why? Because manufacturing is missing. The manufacturing gap. Globally, manufacturing accounts for 16% of GDP. In China, it's 27%. In Germany, it's 20%. In Africa, barely 11%. And here's the worst part. Africa imports over $500 billion worth of manufactured goods every year, $500 billion, draining wealth, jobs, and innovation out of the continent. Why colleges of manufacturing? This is why every African nation needs a college of manufacturing. Not just engineering schools, not just polytechnics, but specialized national hubs where skills, machines, and research collide to create industries. Imagine young Africans trained to build tractors, smartphones, solar panels, and medical devices, not just to use them, but to make them. Lessons from the giants. In the 1960s, South Korea was poorer than Ghana. Today, Samsung is a global titan. Why? Because Korea built technical colleges and invested in manufacturing education. China pulled 800 million people out of poverty, not by exporting raw materials, but by turning itself into the world's factory. Germany, its strength lies in its technical universities and apprenticeship systems that feed precision industries. Education builds skills, skills build factories, factories build nations. Africa's missed chances. Here's the tragedy. Africa had chances. In the 1970s, Nigeria tried automobile assembly. Ghana experimented with steel. Zambia dreamed of copper smelters. But corruption, lack of skills, and political instability killed these dreams. Instead of doubling down, Africa retreated and became the world's raw material warehouse. The price of inaction. If Africa fails to industrialize now, the cost will be devastating. By 2050, Africa's population will hit 2.5 billion. Without manufacturing jobs, millions will be trapped in poverty, forced into migration, or worse, instability. Already, youth employment fuels unrest from Lagos to Khartoum, and the clock is ticking. The fourth industrial revolution. But here is Africa's chance. The world is shifting. 3D printing, robotics, AI, renewable energy, green tech, these are new industries, still forming, still up for grabs. Africa doesn't have to copy 19th century factories. It can leapfrog, but only if the skills are built today. And that requires colleges of manufacturing in every nation. What these colleges should do? A college of manufacturing should train youth in design, prototyping, and factory operations. Partner with local industries to build real products, not just theories. Research African-specific challenges like affordable housing materials, solar-powered cold storage, or electric bikes for African roots. Incubate startups that grow into factories. These are not ivory towers, they are launch pads. The stakes of sovereignty. Without manufacturing, Africa will always depend on outsiders for clothes, for cars, for medicine, even for food. Dependency is the new colonialism, and breaking it requires one thing: making our own. Success stories emerging. In Rwanda, youth are assembling smartphones. In Ethiopia, industrial parks are exporting textiles. In Nigeria, Innocent Motors is building cars. In Kenya, startups are designing solar home systems. But these are exceptions. What Africa needs is a movement. Call to action. This is not just education. This is survival. Every nation in Africa must build a college of manufacturing, urgently. Because if Africa continues exporting raw materials, it exports its future. But if Africa builds factories, it builds freedom. The question is not if, the question is when, and the answer must be now. AfroRizeTV impact. From cocoa to chocolate, from cobalt to batteries, from cotton to clothes, Africa can do it. Africa must do it, because the age of raw materials is ending, and the age of manufacturing is Africa's destiny. Extremely urgent. Every nation in Africa needs a college or university of manufacturing. This is why, only on AfroRizeTV.